Thanks for coming by the Minnesota Black Regiment channel. For this video, strangely enough, this is gonna not normally what I get excited about. Event centers aren't normally my thing, but I have with me tonight for this interview, Brit Haskins from Buffalo. She owns the Classic Hall Event Center in Annandale, Minnesota. It's about roughly 45 minutes from the city center, or 45 minutes from where the Twins play, well, when they're allowed to play. Not that that matters, nobody in Minnesota wins anything anymore. So she has been greatly impacted by the COVID measures, not COVID itself, but she has been greatly impacted by the COVID measures and that the governor has taken, and as, shall we say, not been able to work at running her business the way she'd like. So she now also has a full-time job besides also being a mom, which is basically, she has 3 full-time jobs at this point. So I'm going to introduce you to Brit. Brit, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, a little bit about how long you've had the event center, what made you decide to do it, and then I'm going to see if I can spring some sort of trap on you and see if I can catch you and make this a very interesting interview. So
Sounds good. Well, hi everybody, I'm Brit. I started at the event center back in 2015 after a career change. I was a hairstylist for 12 years prior to, and decided that being behind the chair was not for me anymore. So I quit the salon, and then I ended up being a stay-at-home mom for a little bit, nannied for a little bit, and then this job came about on Facebook that they're looking for an event coordinator, and I just kind of started with it. And within like the first month, fell absolutely in love with the industry and became quite obsessed with it. So when I first started, it was a slower business. Over 4 years of managing it, I did build the business quite a bit for them. And then in October of 2018, I approached the owner and it was like, so let's chat. Like, if I gave, like, what would you need for me to buy this business from you? And so that was in October 18. And by December 31st, we had all paperwork signed, everything. And January 1st of 19, I took over ownership. So I'm just going on almost 2 years now of owning it.
okay, so I want you not in a long way, but just real quick, start at the Classic Hall Event Center to ownership of the Classic Hall Event Center. Day you started, day you took ownership. One more time, I want people to hear this.
March 15th, and I took over 2015, and I took ownership of January 1st, 2019.
So 2019, January 1st, you became the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You had a year.
Yep.
And let's say 3 months before COVID hit. Tell me about your first year of ownership.
It was hard. As any owner, building a business is. It was more hard on the business aspect of everything, not so much actually like running the events. I've been doing that for years prior to. It was just more getting like the routine of like the monthly taxes, like all the behind the scenes business operations, learning all that. I did have my grandpa ended up passing away last year, which was a really big hit. So that kind of put me back last year. So I finally got everything good to go. And then 2020 hit, and it was pegged to be one of our busiest years since it opened in 2008.
So if I'm understanding what you're saying, 2020 was going to be a good year for you business wise.
It would have 2020. I had figured out that it would have been good to cover finances for us for 2020 and 2021.
Okay, so let's talk about it from the perspective of how many covers did you have in 2019?
We had roughly 45 to 50.
Okay,
so in 2019.
So 2019, your first year of ownership.
Oh, in 2015. Sorry,
no, 2019. That's right. Your first year of ownership, you had approximately 50 covers, so 50 events in a 52-week year.
Yep.
So there would have been weeks where you had more than one, and some weeks where you had none.
Yep.
Is that pretty common?
Yes.
Okay. How many events can you host in 1 week or in 1 day?
We do one event a day unless it's like a graduation party or like a smaller thing that we do like 2 or 3. But we'll take events 7 days a week.
And you have the ability with smaller events to break those into different rooms.
We have one big room, so we just kind of everybody gets the great big room, and then we just flip flop it for the next event. So
there's a space in between.
Yep.
Okay. What's the capacity of your business? How many people can you hold?
415 right now is our capacity for weddings.
Okay, and that's guests, not guest and staff.
That's guests, yes.
That's guests. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fully staffed for a big event, how many people do you employ?
I have, let's see, 8.
8.
8.
And that's servers, bartenders.
Yeah, right now that's like my bartenders, my front bar assistant, and then I have 3 girls that go around doing all the cleaning. Prior to this, it was only 3 of us.
Okay. So, and those people are consistent. They're there whenever you need them.
Yep.
Okay. And are you able to keep them pretty busy?
Yes.
In a good year, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. Are they gainfully employed at other places as well, or do they rely on their work at the Classic Hall predominantly?
6 out of the 8 rely strictly on Classic Hall. The other 2, they have other full-time jobs as well.
Okay. So 2020 rolls around, March gets here, governor steps in and says, hey, COVID's here, it's killing people, we're shutting everything down. How many cancellations did you have to make?
We lost over 30 events.
So you were on track for how many for 2020?
70.
You were on track for 70 events for 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good year.
That's a really good year.
Okay. So you lost over 30. So let's say you had roughly 35 of them out of the way, or already?
No, we had 3 out of the way. We had 1 in January and 2 in February, which were fantastic. And then we were getting ready to start a school fundraiser in March, and the fundraiser was going to be like 2 days after the shutdown happened. And so we got shut down then in March, and then we had April, May, June. My July's canceled, so my August canceled. I was able to squeeze in September and October, and then we got shut down again.
So you went from 2019 being a pretty good year for your first year.
Yep.
2020 being like a stellar year. People were, word of mouth was getting you out there, and
yep.
You were looking at having a great year. Governor comes in, shuts everything down. You lose 30 out of 70.
Well, that was right away in the initial, we lost 30 right away in the initial shutdown between once the first initial shutdown came. That was 30. And then as the year was going on, it kept going. So I want to say the total number of events that we were able to host this year after the shutdown of all of it. Let me do a quick little number here quick for you. So out of all of it, we were able to do 17 events.
I'm just dumbfounded. So 17 events, your year's, for all intents and purposes, is over.
Mm-hmm.
17, down from 50 the year before, way down from the 70 projected. Of those cancellations, how many of them did you have to refund their full deposit?
None. Luckily, a lot of them understood. So, and plus, like with us too, we call it a retainer, because actually, like, a deposit's, there's no such thing as a non-refundable deposit. a deposit you can get back. So we call it a retainer. And then what we do is like, since the day you sign that contract, we're working with you constantly. You know, we're working on planning, we're working on scheduling, all this stuff. So leading up to the wedding day, you know, you already have all of our admin hours in there. So that's where we take the deposit. Like, okay, well, we've already been working with you for over a year. We had one bride though that was not very fond of that policy, and her dad was very, very rude. He actually came into my office and was yelling at me and basically accused me of causing this thing. I'm like, yes, because I am a microbiologist and I can cause viruses. Like, that is what I do. And I got to the point where he was being very disrespectful, and I ended up asking him to leave my office that day. And then what they did was, so that was in May, and then in August, they disputed their credit card charge from us that they, for their deposit that they made in April of 2019. So for over a year and like a few months since their payment, they disputed it and the bank approved it. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So this is hurting you guys financially.
Oh, massively.
And that's a risk, right? That's a risk when you open a business or buy an existing business. It's a risk.
Yep.
And you went into that knowing that it may not be all peaches and cream.
Yep.
But well, here, I'll ask it this way, Brit.
Yeah.
Is COVID real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
okay. I know I put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's absolutely real. I 100%. I know that it's real. Yes.
Okay. What was your level of political activity or affiliation coming into 2020? Were you out there waving the Democrat or the DFL flag or the Republican flag or a big Trump bot or anything like that?
No, I was the behind the scenes at home. Like, I knew what I believe in and what I was going for and stuff, but I'm never one to put myself out there and blast one way or the other. Like, it's just everybody's opinions are theirs, and that's fine. And just the way I've been seeing things, like when it comes to business, I try to keep political stuff off Facebook and social media, just because the one client that could potentially make everything fantastic for you could see that and then not want to come to you because of that. So I just kind of keep myself neutral territory when it comes to all the political stuff. So, but now I'm over it and I'm at my point, and now people are going to hear me.
So it wasn't like this isn't like fuel for you, like, hey, I've been waiting for this opportunity to really stick it to Governor Walz or Keith Ellison or anything. How tempted have you been to say, if I can find clients, screw it, we're going to open up?
Oh, very 100% tempted to do it.
Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 15, what's your temptation level at right now?
Is 15 the highest?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a 20 on that one.
Okay. Have you had many people asking?
Yes.
Pretty high number?
Yes.
That are willing to take the risk?
Yes.
What's it going to take to push you over the edge and make you just say, you know what, I'll run the risk?
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Well, end of interview. We'll see you later. So,
I'm there. It's once I got it was like the other day. So like he made the announcement that he was gonna have all this funding out for small businesses again. So I emailed the small business people, and basically what they said is all that money that they were having was not going to be available to anybody new because it's already gone for all the people who were on the wait list from the beginning of the year when they ran out.
You don't want to take that money anyway.
Yep. So they had, and they're not taking new applications. Well, then now they have this new bill that came out, and
Stop. I want you to say that one more time. $216 million just got passed last week.
Wasn't it billion or
216 million, a quarter of $1 billion, roughly.
Yep.
$216 million. Small business owner in Minnesota with a venue who, and we're going to get to this in a second, went out and got a full-time job, doesn't qualify because that money's already used up.
Yep.
In less than a week.
Yep.
All right. Our governor bragged. Yay, look at what we did. She gets butt kissed, which I might add, nobody should be taking the money in the first place, because the second they write you a check or hand you money, you're on the hook to do whatever they tell you to do. So anyway, no money for you, Brit.
No. And then even with the new one that came out now, there's this like a secondary one that now is all grants. So you don't actually apply for it if you need it. The county or the wherever you're at will basically make that decision for you, and they'll basically give it to who they think deserves it. And venues is not on that list.
But adult clubs where people take their clothes off for money could qualify.
Totally.
Okay, I want that to sink in too. So money's gone. Second round is grants. You can be picked by your county, but venues don't qualify, but strip clubs do. I get, you know, strippers have to eat too, I guess. So subsequent to the shutdown, losing all of your events, but not losing all the income from the events, save the one. Britt, you went out and got a job. Tell me how long it took you to make that decision, and how much money were you being given, and what are you doing now?
So when the shutdown happened in November, I'm not gonna lie, I was in bed for like 2 weeks. I was like just sitting in my sorrow, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was just seeing everything just fall like into the grave, like just done for. So after that 2 weeks, I decided to apply, and I applied at 30 jobs. I put out 30 applications, and never in my life did I think I'd go from being a business owner to punching the clock for somebody else. And but I did get hired as a service auto care service manager over at Walmart here in Buffalo. So I'm working with the guys and getting cars ready to go and everything ordered and all that stuff. So
how much money were you being given before you for your unemployment?
Oh, for unemployment, yes. A whole whopping $236 a week.
Okay, so $236 a week. Okay. Is that enough to pay bills?
No.
No. I assume your husband works full time?
He does.
Okay. Things were tight for you guys.
Yes.
Come close to losing anything?
Our house, the business, our car.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't, if you need to get emotional, that's fine. It plays better on camera.
No, I try not to, because when I get emotional with it, it just makes me more angry than it does.
You know what? Get angry. Go back and, I'm gonna self-promote here. Go back and watch my video from the other night talking about Larvita over in Lynn and what our wonderful Attorney General is threatening her with, and you'll see anger.
Her cute little wrapped present that they gave her with a little red bow, which was like a huge, like, screw you, basically.
Oh, nice big slap in the face. So here you are working a full-time job, going from being owner of an event center, being an event planner, being the boss, to now literally being in a situation where you're getting your hands dirty. Even as a service manager, you're still going out and doing a little bit of work here and there as far as in the grease and the grime, hopefully keeping your business alive.
Yep.
How much longer can you keep your business under the current rate of lockdown, or excuse me, shutdown?
If things don't change and I don't start taking events, I don't think we'll make it till summer.
And I don't want numbers, but I'm assuming you've got business loans.
Luckily when it comes to that, well, yes, I do, but it's more on like on a private side of it. So they've been willing to work with me a lot more than what like some banks have or like some loan people have been.
So
I
like
got,
investors, you have investors.
yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't keep you from losing the business.
No.
Which also means your investors lose.
Yeah, because it's yeah, luckily they've been nice enough to let me like they're tallying it on a spreadsheet basically of like what I still owe, and that's not a pretty number.
No.
So even like once I get back into going, I still have back pay of 2020 to pay back in 2021. So I'm like really never going to be able to get ahead of it.
So you're in a position like so many other people right now where it's like, if I keep my business closed, I'm going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
If I open my business, I'm probably going to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at that point now where you're ready to look at the governor and Keith Ellison and say, you can't do any more to me.
Right.
What more can you take from me besides my freedom?
Right.
Yeah.
I did the crazy thing is I reached out to a couple different representatives throughout the state, and they actually have been reaching back out to me, which has been fantastic, which I'm like, oh, like they actually care because they're reaching back out to us. And I was talking to one of them, and I was asking, I'm like, well, does the governor have anybody advising him like on the actual event side of things? Because we keep getting forgotten about. Like, we're not a restaurant, we're not a bar, you know. Yes, we can host religious services, but we're not a church, you know. So like all of our categories are completely just lost. And she told me that she one of the people advising the governor is one of the senators who has an event center of 1,000-person capacity, and he's the one like helping advising. And I'm sitting here like, no, 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 no. You're not going to tell me a senator is advising the governor because he owns an event center when he's still getting paid how much do they make a year for as a senator?
I don't think,
you know, like
a dollar at this point is too much.
Oh, exactly. So he's still able to make all this money while we're sitting here doing nothing, but yet he's going to be the advisor. I'm like, that's not, no, you need people in the real world advising you like what you're doing to this.
I want his name.
I can tell you that actually.
I want the name.
It is Senator Drahim, Drahim, I don't know, Drahim.
Say that, spell that again.
Drahim.
All right. Well, we've got it on video now, and you can send it to me in a text. We'll make sure that senator sees this.
Yeah, because I'm like, you can't. Yeah, he has like 1,000-person occupancy venue, but I'm like, you're still getting.
Do we know what that venue is called?
No, she did not tell me that. Representative Marion O'Neill gave me that, so
Oh, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out where this senator, 1,000-person venue.
There's not very. You can't have very many of those besides like a convention center, so it can't be that hard to find.
Yeah. So. More than we'll find out where this is at. We'll even find out if it's shut down. So
probably not.
Good. You're looking at losing, and we, you know, let's be honest, it wasn't a live stream. You weren't growing up as a little girl going, I can't wait to go and plan weddings and own an event center and.
No, not really. No, my ultimate dream when I was growing up was like I was gonna be that corporate lady with like the Bluetooth, you know, my briefcase, and I was gonna do it. Like I was gonna be the business person, and never was gonna plan on getting married, never was gonna have kids. Like I was all business focused, and then now I've been married for 10 years and we have 4 kids. So like life kind of changed. But I will say about 12 years ago, I did talk to my husband. I'm like, and we were living down in by Worthington, Minnesota at this time. And I was like, you know, I think it'd be really cool to become an event planner. Like I love doing this kind of stuff, but where we were living at the time, there was just literally no need for one down there. So I just kind of like, oh, that'd be cool, and didn't think anything of it. And then 9 years later, I started at the event center working in events. So it kind of came back around. So
I'm gonna bring up your promotional video here while we talk over it, so
yeah,
people can see.
it's pretty cool.
It's actually, I'm going to be honest with you. When I saw it was an event center, the places that I've been, I've always been like, oh, this is not very neat, but your place actually looks really nice. So I've been very impressed with that. So you're like, don't really care if you're impressed, Todd. I like it.
No, I find it fun. I get excited when other people see it for the first time because they're so used to like a 4-wall place with blank, nothing on it. And then you come to us and it's all kinds of outdoor facades.
So I'm not going to play the sound. I'm just going to let it play here in the background as we're speaking. How many nights have you gone to bed in tears, or angry, or in angry tears?
I would say at least 5 out of 7 nights every week since March.
How hard is talking about this right now for you?
Really hard.
Torn up.
Because I'm not an emotional person and I hate being emotional, and it's not even sad. I am just mad. Like that's just the way I can describe it. Is I am mad, and I am I don't know if I can say damn. I am damned if I will lose my business due to somebody else. Now, if I lost it because I had bad management skills, my business skills were horrible, and I just kind of lost it, then yeah, I would take full ownership of that. But I will not go down, lose everything because somebody else thinks they know what's best for everybody. So I am too stubborn to fail.
By somebody else's problems.
Yep.
Now I'm really gonna put you on the spot. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
You're talking to someone right now. Somebody's gonna see this video. Out of the 300 and some people that have subscribed to my channel, someone in Minnesota is gonna see this. We hope. And they're saying, hey, look, I want to have an event. Why should they pick you?
Well, first of all, the building's phenomenal, as you just seen. But we have very, very reasonable rates because we're not in the Twin Cities. So we can lower our stuff quite a bit. So for instance, you can do a full day wedding rental, which includes all of your decorations that you need, all your setup, all of your tear down, your cleanup, your bartenders, your online planning stuff, ceiling draping, backdrop, all that for $3,500. And that's like your table linens, napkins, silverware, china, glassware, flatware. So literally it's just that, and then whatever food and alcohol you want, and there's no minimums. So
how willing are you to risk it?
Absolutely.
Okay, you didn't even let me finish.
Well, and the funny thing is I actually have a meeting Tuesday night and for a bride for a undisclosed date in January coming up.
Okay. That's not good enough. How willing are you right at this point, Britt? And does your husband understand, and is he willing to go there with you? Like, how willing are you at this point to say, I don't care, come and get me, I'm not stopping anymore?
I have already talked to my bar manager and she's getting on my accounts this week. And so that way, if and when I get arrested, she can get me out. She can get access to the funds.
Are you willing to open up if they yank your license?
Yes.
Will you stay open if they yank your license?
Yes.
Are you willing to serve alcohol if they yank your liquor license?
Yes.
Are you willing to go to jail?
Yes.
All right. Every business owner I have interviewed thus far has been a woman. Every one of those women has said, I will do these things. Every one of those women has said, I will go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, men, find your testicular fortitude and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what city you're in. I don't care what county you're in. It is literally time. Every time I make one of these videos, especially when I'm talking to one of these bold women who are saying, I'm willing to do this, I get angrier. One, that they're in the position they're in. Two, that there aren't many men who are out there being bold in what they're claiming they're willing to do.
Right.
Every one of these videos I make, every one of these interviews, I'm advocating that they be disobedient to the governor's executive orders. Not only are they at risk for talking about this with me, I'm at risk for talking about this. Every one of these videos is a $25,000 fine for me if they choose to come after me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told them to come after me.
Right.
I have told them to come get me instead of picking on a single mom in Lind, instead of picking on a single mom in Lakeville.
Mm-hmm.
And now a mother of 4, married 10 years, about to lose everything she's invested her last few years in, could lose her home, could lose her cars, could lose her business, which means that her family's lifestyle will change drastically. They're all willing to risk it all.
Mm-hmm.
And the men of Minnesota, the male business owners, have all been sheepishly compliant, talking big talk with no game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Brit, what can we do here in Minnesota for those of us that are patriotic, those of us that are constitutionalists? What's the best way for us to help you? Do you have a website with reviews? Do you have a Facebook page that we can go and do reviews on? Do you?
I have the Google. Google is the best place for that. I currently have Facebook reviews shut off just due to the whole COVID and upset clients and everything like that. So, because once you get some of the reviews on there, you can't get them off. So we just kind of protected ourselves that way. Besides that, just share my story. And if you want to have a really cool party, big or small, like bring him over to Annandale. Yeah, it's a little bit out of the way, but you'll have so much fun out here.
Look, people, if you're in the Twin Cities or within an hour of the Twin Cities, from an hour, let's say a half an hour south of the Twin Cities, a half an hour north of the Twin Cities, or with an hour and a half outside of the Twin Cities on the west, or even a half hour on the east of the Twin Cities, there's no reason why you can't go and do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're planning on getting married, get married here. If you're planning on having a convention, I guarantee you, just from talking to her, she can figure out a way for you to host your convention there. If you need to have a business party, have it here. I don't care what holiday you're celebrating. For the love of Pete, she can help you.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, she wants to help you. As much as she likes working at Walmart, I guarantee you that's not where she wants to stay.
No, I miss my place. I miss my venue. I miss my people. I will say on our last wedding that we had was in November. I had my last meeting with at the end of every event before I send my staff home, we have a quick little like 5-minute meeting in the office, like just a recap of the night and, okay guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you next week. You know, here's the game plan. And I couldn't even talk to them. Like I walked into the room and I saw all their faces and I just like started crying. I'm like, and they all look at me like, oh my gosh, she's human. She's crying. Like she never shows emotion. And I couldn't even, saying goodbye to those girls that night was just the hardest thing ever. And then I was bartending that night and my bar manager was too. And the song It's Closing, or Closing Time, came on like the last song they played for the music. And I think that moment it hit both me and my bar manager like straight in the heart. Like we're shut, we're done. Like we don't even know when the next time we're gonna be open is again. And
we do.
It was like just like a numb feeling, like knowing like, okay, this could potentially be the last event that will ever work.
All for a virus that has a better than 98% survival rate.
Yep. And and the thing that really like what people need to understand is that just because I want my business open and I am willing to take that risk does not make me a bad person, does not make me selfish, and does not make me think that all the lives that have been lost are for nothing. Like I don't care about them. Like that's not the case at all. Yes, this is real. Yes, people have died. Is it sad? Absolutely. Am I doing what I need to be doing to keep myself and my family healthy as much as I possibly can? When I'm working in my events, even when we did have the availability to do them, I have a 5-page protocol list. So my staff is cleaning the entire building every 35 to 40 minutes. So I think we've had over 3,000 people in those couple months that we were able to host, and not one person got sick. Like for as quickly as this spreads, we were able to keep every single one of our guests safe. And I'm not bad, I'm not mean, I'm not selfish. Like if I don't do something, maybe I'm selfish because I'm trying to protect my family and our well-being. Maybe if that's selfish, then I am 100% selfish on that.
No, stop. That's not selfish. That's
no,
but that's don't even let them have that argument, right?
No, that's true.
Don't let them have. That's not selfish. Like that's not selfish. Like that's the heart of a mom. I mean, Frank, that's the heart of a dad. Like protect my family. I'll do what it takes. You want to do what it takes. That's why you're trying to keep your business running and you're working at Walmart. You went from being a beautician to owning a business to working at Walmart. Nobody wants to do that.
No, I feel like it's like a whole 100 steps backwards, but and
that's not to badmouth Walmart.
No. I mean, I've been having fun there, but like, I told my husband, I'm like, I feel like I've taken 100 steps back, and he's like, he gave me the words. He was very encouraging. He's like, like the fact that you are willing to go back to work for somebody else and punch a time clock to keep your business open. He's like, that shows people what type of person you are. Like that's your character. Like you're not going to just sit back and let somebody screw you over. So
exactly. And the last thing you want to do is be beholden to the state for money to get keep your business alive, because at some point they're going to come for that.
Yep.
They'll tell you, well, you took the money, so now you have to do what we tell you.
Yep.
And that, so I'm not going to keep you any longer because, well, frankly,
you're fine. The hubby has the kids upstairs. I have a quiet spot right now. You can keep me on here as long as you want.
You said not much. There's probably not even the summer. You probably wouldn't even be able to make the summer. Let's just get down and dirty about it, and we'll, like I said, we'll start the wrap up here. Are you to the point now where, like, if you have an event, you have to like pretty much do it all by yourself to be able to pay the bills?
Yes.
Which means 6 out of the 8 people that work for you, who have relied almost solely on you, are out of work.
Yep.
because you have to do what you have to do to be able to do the event.
Yep.
Okay. People and your vendors will have no money coming in. So as Lisa from Alibi pointed out, so this isn't just you.
Nope.
When we started this, you told us that you were about to do a school fundraiser. That got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that one was so sad because I'm a part of this group called Right Tech CEO, which means creating entrepreneur opportunities. And they're for juniors and seniors here in Wright County. And so I mentor the class with them and I'm on their board. So every year we do a fundraiser and they get to take the money that they made and they split it between all of them. And it's their seed money to start their business. And so I get super excited for this class. And then we got shut down a couple days before their fundraiser. So the whole class didn't even get to do anything with their businesses or anything either. And they're like, Britt, like, what could you have done to prepare for this? I'm like, no, I don't know. Like, honestly, like I'm 34 years old, never seen a pandemic before. Like no idea how you would have prepared for it.
I don't think anybody could. And well, unless you own a 1,000-person venue and happen to be a senator who advises.
Yes.
Sorry, that was maybe a little snarky.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like, no. Like,
let me say, would you say it's fair to say that some holding out till summer at this current rate is kind of pie in the sky thinking?
what was that? I didn't understand
Would
that.
Would you say that being able to hold on to the business until summer at this current rate without opening back up and all that is kind of pie in the sky, like wishing and hoping that, oh, I can make this? Is that feasible?
Yep. It wouldn't be happening.
Yeah. So in all likelihood, if you don't open back up, it's going to be a lot sooner than summer.
Yeah.
And you lose the venue. You potentially hurt relationships with your investors.
All of the couples that I've worked with, their venue is gone. Yep. It's a trickle down effect, like it starts here, but the person that's down here it's going to come right down to them. So, and
if for every venue that closes, there's probably another venue closing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know any other people in the business?
Oh, I know quite a few of them.
How many of them? How many of them would sit down and have a conversation with you?
Probably every single one of them.
Well, that's your next assignment.
Sounds good.
Of those, how many are holding on by their fingernails?
I would say about 95% of them.
How many of those are 1,000-seat venues?
0.
How many of those are senators?
0.
How many of those get to advise the governor?
0.
How many of those were maybe apolitical but now have an opinion?
All of them. Yep. Yeah, the small business owners, we've been minding our business and we've been following protocols and we've been listening, and you can only push somebody so far till you push them over that limit, and then there's no going back, and I think with this last shutdown in November and with this joke of funding that he is talking about, and like we can have 50% capacity for outdoor dining only. Like, I don't get it. Like, he has to be shutting the door and like laughing his butt off at everybody thinking like, oh yeah, those idiots, like they're following what I'm saying. And now all the small business owners are finally like, you know what, forget it. Like, we're done. We've given you 8 months of our lives, 8 months of our businesses. We're done.
Britt, closing thoughts to direct at fellow Minnesotans, fellow small business owners, and then at the governor and his entourage?
For the small business owners, hang in there. We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna come out a lot stronger than what we did going into it, and we'll become very unique people to make it work. And to Governor Walz and his little entourage, how dare you? Like, you have to be miserable with your life and to make everybody else like this. And the fact that you guys are going out and suing people for keeping their livelihood together, shame on you. Karma's a bitch, and it's going to come back at them.
Would you encourage everyone to open up and run the risk?
Yes. Open those doors. The more people that we get to open up, the more they're not going to be able to come into everybody's businesses at once. You know, so
everybody who watches this, Minnesota citizens, residents, wherever you happen to be, all 10 and 10 of you that watch my channel now, this is what we have to do. You're hearing it from a business owner. Everyone needs to open up. Not just to protect her when she's open, but for everybody's sake.
mm-hmm.
We're all stronger when we stand together. And we've been hearing that from the beginning of this. In this together, we're in this together apart. We've been hearing all of the little propaganda and all of that. And as someone told me yesterday, well, told a large group of people yesterday, at the Alibi, where we all gathered after the rally, $750,000 a day goes into the propaganda machine in the state of Minnesota to put ads out on the radio and on television, on the internet and everywhere else, telling everybody what they need to do to be safe from COVID and what they need to do to be afraid of COVID. $750,000 a day minimum.
That's crazy.
Brit can't even get any kind of aid, which is actually a benefit at this point, to not be on the hook.
It is. It just, it more ticks me off that he shuts us down and doesn't even include us. You know, like the fact that if we were included, cool. Like, you actually are acknowledging the fact that you were, the event industry is being abolished. You know, it's just gonna be gone. Like, you can't. And what a lot of people don't realize is, like, say for instance, like with like the Alibi and other bars and restaurants, when they open their doors, they can start business literally the moment they open their doors. Like, they can get customers that, you know, they can get drinks sold, they can get food sold, and they can start that revenue coming up, you know, not quickly, but right away. Whereas an event venue, we don't get to do that. You know, like, nobody comes up and is like, hey, I want to book a 300-person event tomorrow. It's a year out. So not only do we get to be shut down, now we have to wait another whole year to even get any kind of income coming in. And nobody's even really, like, we're down 63% in bookings for next year because people are worried. Like,
is it even going to be feasible to do?
Yeah.
Are they going to let us? Are they going to let us live our lives?
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear that? Like, this isn't something that she's just doing in the past. She's thought this out, and that's what we need to do, Minnesota. Brit, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on here. Oh, well, like I said, I don't know if I can do much, but we'll do what we can. And then we'll get you and all your friends together for a big Zoom call. I really appreciate it. And